But what I want to talk to you about is my problem solving process. Another system that I've developed when I go into work with companies, and it's 4 kind of steps to that process, and it really kind of enables me to drill down, not just look at the symptoms, because owners often have a problem and have a symptom for a problem, but they don't really understand what causes it or what influences it. So that's what I do, is I kind of like clarify what the real issue is. So the process is define, discover, dissolve, and destiny. The 4 Ds. It's always 4 something, isn't it? So I just want to talk to you about my problem solving process. Define, that's really about really defining what the real problem is, and not just looking at the symptoms and little issues. I'm really kind of very big picture but detail, and there's no point solving the wrong thing, you know, or only half solving the big problem. And you know, so if you're going to do it, you really need to kind of uncover all the influences that make that problem. So defining the problem is really, really important. Otherwise, you're only going to kind of partly kind of move the problem around. So again, it's a series of kind of questioning, and it may be interviewing the staff, interviewing the key person, interviewing customers, suppliers, depending on what the issue may be or what the objective may be in order to grow the business. That's what we do. First of all, define the problem. And then really discovery. This is a really interesting, this is when, once you've started to define what the real problem is, it's actually then drilling down even further. And discovery is about questioning and listening. And sometimes I actually get the key person with the customer. When they hear what the customer says, it completely changes their perception of what the problem is, and also can give lots of ideas to kind of identify how to go forward. So the discovery phrase is really about finding the real insights, the real kind of like lightning bolts, a real kind of gold. And so it's really an interesting process to go through that. It's important not to kind of jump from identifying the problem to you know, solution, to dissolve, because there's a whole host of real kind of nuggets of information, real insights that can lend itself as to how you go into the next stage, which is dissolve. Dissolve is about creating the solution, but it's actually about distilling the key bits of information that you got in the discovery phase of this process, through all the listening, that, you know, what you picked up through listening, the way people said things and what they said, the language that they use, the ways that other people would resolve it. Now, in the solutions process, it's really important to involve all the people that have an influence on the solution. So if you have staff and they're going to interact with either delivering the solution, or actually they were involved in the symptoms or the kind of the problems, the issues, not necessarily creating them, it wasn't their fault, but actually that they processed these things. It's really important to involve them as part of creating part of the solution, because the thing is, unless they sign up to it, they're going to undermine it. Unless they really understand, you know, what's feeding that issue, then, you know, they really need to be on board. So it's whether it's the customers, whether it's the suppliers, whether it's the staff member, the key person. In creating the solution, the key people need to be involved. So you also need in discover, you need to identify who are those key people that need to be around the table in the dissolve, in the dissolving the information and coming up, creating the solution in order to solve the identified problem. Then destiny, again, you're involving those key people. Destiny is really about commitment to the outcome. The whole reason for doing this is to making changes about growing the business, engaging the customers, stop doing something that has a knock-on effect that's negative, whatever it may be, a problem, you know, in resolving a problem. So, you know, you're signing up to a particular outcome, the solution, you know, the result, the outcome, but you need to make sure that people are committed to make that happen. So destiny is about signing up to the future, signing up to what it's it's going to look like, signing up to the vision of what it is, and making sure everyone's on board. You've already identified in Dissolve and Discovery who are the key people that's going to interact to make this solution work for your customers, and you've identified, you know, the real problem, but you need everyone to be signed up and committed to this. So, you know, Destiny is really about having the vision of what it's going to look, smell and feel like, what the outcome will be, what the result is, and getting everyone really excited and committed to make that happen. So everyone's kind of motivated and empowered and moving in the same direction and very clear about what, you know, we need to do. And it does sometimes take a little bit of time to actually do this process, but actually it means that the outcome comes a lot quicker. You're not going to have so many problems to resolve in getting the outcome, the result that you want, because you've identified the right people around the table and everyone's kind of imparted their ideas into the solution and signed up to it. So it's actually going to happen a lot quicker. So it's important to spend time on the right problem solving process, and this is my problem solving process, to make sure that you get the destiny, the outcome, the absolute result you want a lot quicker. So good luck with that. I hope you found it really useful. Now, I hope I've kind of stopped you from jumping from symptom to solution, and really put the right steps in place to make sure that, you know, the solutions that you discover, dissolve, and the destiny is actually the outcome, is actually the result that you want. So my name is Janice B. Gordon. I am the problem solver. Please go to my website, which is www.theproblem-solver.co.uk, and sign up to my Insight newsletter, where you'll get more insights as to what you can do in order to grow your business.